Let's observe silence for a few minutes. Om. Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 8. We'll chant from verse number 1 to 5.
Arjuna uvacha Kim tad brahma kimadhyatmam Kim karma purushottama Adhibhutam cha kim proktam Adhidaivam kimuchyate Adhiyajñah katham kotra Dehesmin madhusudana Prayanakale cha katham Nyeyosi niyatatmabhihi Shri Bhagavanuvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhavodhyatmamuchyate Bhuta Bhavodbhavakarah Visargah Karma Sanyitaha Adhibhutam Ksharo Bhavaha Purushashchadhidaivatam Adhiyajñohamevatra Dehe Dehabhritamvara Antakale cha mameva Smaran muktva kalevaram Yah prayati samadbhavam Yati nastyatra samshayah.
Chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita is called Akshara Brahma Yoga, the yoga of imperishable Brahman. Brahman meaning supreme reality. Kshara means perishable. Akshara means imperishable. So supreme reality is imperishable, infinite. So what is this supreme reality all about? So there are 28 verses in this chapter. And these verses can be divided into 4 topics. Now this topic-wise division is useful for all seekers to understand the thought flow. Now in case somebody is new to these classes, don't worry about what you have missed. Forget about the previous 7 chapters because explanation is going to be repetitive. The basic concepts will be covered throughout all the chapters. But in case somebody wants to catch up, you can listen to chapter 7 recordings, which you get anyway when you register. But don't worry about chapter 1, chapter 2, whatever you have missed. So your study starts from now. And within 3 to 4 months, you should be able to catch up. Also, on every Sunday, we do 4 major books written by Swamiji. So these books are important to understand the main scriptures, which is Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad. So if you have time, you are more than welcome to join us every Sunday, 10 to 11. Right now, we are doing Holocaust of Attachment. But if you don't have time, don't worry, just focus on this particular chapter. So this chapter starts with Arjuna's question. The first 2 verses are Arjuna is asking Krishna to clarify, and he uses certain terms A, B, C, D, E. Let's not worry about it right now. And Krishna has mentioned these words in the previous chapter. If you go to the translation of verse number 29 and 30 of chapter 7, Arjuna is repeating those terms and is asking Krishna to, can you clarify what does it mean? What is supreme reality? What is Atman? What is karma? He wants to clarify. So before we start verse by verse study of the chapter, let's try to understand the thought flow in this chapter. So the topic summary. So I'm going to ask Sita and Lakshmiji to read the topic summary for us. So who is reading topic 1 and topic 2?
Lakshmi ji.
Yeah. Please.
Got it. Chapter 8.
Please highlight Lakshmiji.
Pardon me?
No, I'm telling Vijay, please highlight you.
The Yoga of Imperishable Brahman. Akshara Brahma Yoga. Introduction. This chapter entitled Akshara Brahma Yoga, the Yoga of Imperishable Brahman, comprises 28 verses. The preceding chapter spoke of the deluded seeking finite fruit, while the wise seek Brahman. Herein you find the detailed procedure to gain Brahman, how you can reach Brahman through concentrated yoga and single-pointed meditation, a path which leads you to the supreme abode, whence none returns. The chapter also mentions the path of return, which transports you to a realm of temporary bliss, only to bring you back to the world of limitation. This chapter can be summarized into 4 topics. 1. Brahman and world. You gain what you pursue. 2. Through ever steadfast yoga and meditation, you reach Brahman. 3. Brahman beyond the manifest and unmanifest world. 4. Paths of return and non-return. The first topic, Brahman and world, you gain what you pursue. The topic covers the transcendental and immanent nature of Brahman, how the imperishable Brahman pervades this perishable world of things and beings. Whatever you pursue in this world, you gain that alone. By pursuing the self, you realize the self. Krishna advises mankind to surrender the mind and intellect to the self while the body is engaged in action, bringing you to the ultimate state of Brahman. Second chapter, Through second topic, through ever steadfast yoga and meditation, you reach Brahman. Turn your attention from the world to the Supreme Self within. Control your senses and mind through spiritual practices. Then let your intellect direct the controlled mind to single-pointed meditation upon the mantra Om. By continuous and sustained meditation, you will reach the supreme abode of Brahman.
Thank you. Sita?
Topic 3, Brahman beyond the manifest and unmanifest world. Every individual being remains as vasanas, unmanifest desires, in deep sleep at night. His vasanas manifest at daybreak upon awaking. This cycle of dissolution and emanation continues until the individual completely exhausts his vasanas, reaching the state of self-realization. A similar phenomenon takes place at the macrocosmic level. The entire macrocosm manifests during the day of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma, a god of the Hindu Trinity, is as distinguished from Brahman, the supreme reality. Brahma's celestial day consists of 4.32 billion terrestrial years. Similarly, the macrocosm folds back into the unmanifest state during the night of Lord Brahma, covering an equal period as his day. Beyond this unmanifest lies the supreme unmanifest, Brahman. Humans reach Brahman through spiritual disciplines, culminating in single-pointed meditation. Topic 4, paths of return and non-return. The topic covers the path of sun, Uttarayana, and the path of moon, Dakshinayana. The path of sun takes a seeker to Brahma Loka, the heaven of Lord Brahma, whence he goes to the supreme Brahman. Whereas the path of moon takes the individual to Pitra Loka only to enjoy heavenly pleasures and return to the cycle of birth and death in this world. The latter path provides only temporary pleasures of heaven or meritorious deeds done here. The former, however, takes the seeker to Brahman through heaven because of having mixed meritorious deeds with his spiritual practice. But the true yogi, through his determined effort on the path of yoga of meditation, goes directly from here to the supreme abode of Brahman.
Great. See, he is using Lord Brahma or heaven symbolically. There is no such personality called as Lord Brahma. It's a concept. The world is an expression of three forces: creation, destruction, and sustenance. So symbolically, they have shown it as there are three gods. So it's not a personality. Similarly, heaven or hell, they are mental states. It's not a geographical place. Pitruloka, Brahmaloka, it means realm of experience. So we all will be discussing all these concepts. So don't have to worry at this moment. Now, chapter 8 gives us very subtle philosophy. If this is your first time, I would say you have joined at the right time. But also you'll have to catch up with the basics. So today and maybe next week, I'm going to explain a lot of basics so that everybody's on the same page. So if you feel a little bit lost initially, don't worry. And you always have a freedom to ask questions end of the class. Now, what topic 1 is telling us? Brahman and world, you gain what you pursue. So Brahman is a Vedantic name for supreme reality, which is equivalent of Father in heaven in Bible. So they are synonyms, or Allah All of them are synonyms. And every human being has a choice of action. What is that choice of action? Now, it doesn't matter your gender, the circumstances in which you are born, the environment in which you are born, doesn't matter. Every human being has a choice. And that choice is to either pursue the world or to pursue the supreme reality. By default, you have been given this choice of action. No other creature has this choice. So you can steer your life either towards the world or towards supreme reality. See, I repeat, every human being has this choice. It doesn't matter where you are born, in what circumstances you are born, you have that choice. So you can function in such a way that you can go towards supreme reality, or you have a choice to get to the world and get sucked into the world. And you do not need education to go to the world, it comes to us naturally. But to get to the higher values of life, which scriptures are teaching us, and ultimately steer your life towards supreme reality, needs a lot of efforts. So there is no doubt about that. So therefore, traditionally, this knowledge was taught when you are young. You understand the correlation. So when you are 10, 12, 14, somebody tells you, hey, you can steer your life towards something higher. So it's like GPS is set right from the beginning. So therefore, this knowledge was taught in the Gurukula system. I'm talking about like thousands of years back. So you have that choice. The second topic, through our steadfast yoga and meditation, you reach Brahman. All it means is through consistent efforts, you change your direction. It doesn't happen overnight. So you may understand the importance of reaching supreme reality or getting established in higher values, which we are studying in Bhagavad Gita. So it's not going to happen overnight. You may be a genuine seeker, you may be inspired, you may be willing to put efforts, but you have to give yourself some time. You can't suddenly change the course of your life. It takes a while. And right now, you are separated from the supreme reality. What separates you is desires. If you did not have desires, you wouldn't have been born in the first place. So the fact that you are born means there is a separation from supreme reality. So what has created this separation is desires. And you have created these desires. Nobody has planted these desires in you. Your past actions have created your present desires. Your present actions will produce further desires if you don't do anything about that. So that is what entire spiritual path is all about. That how do you eliminate these desires? So you do that through three spiritual practices: path of action, path of devotion, path of knowledge. So when you start putting efforts, initially the quantity of desire drops and the quality of desire improves. That is how the change happens. So I repeat, the barrier between human being and supreme reality is desires. So your mission in life is to get rid of these desires. So how do you get rid of these desires? You need to purify your desires. So what is that purification of desires? You do it through karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. So when you apply these three spiritual practices in your day-to-day life, quality of your desire improves and the quantity of your desire drops. And when bulk of the desires are gone, you start functioning in the spirit of detachment in day-to-day life. At home, at work, doesn't matter what you are doing. You develop that sense of renunciation. And when you develop that sense of renunciation, you become more contemplative. Contemplative meaning you get that fixation on the ultimate goal. That's the meaning of the word contemplation, which qualifies you for meditation. And through meditation, you reach the ultimate state of self realization. So that's what he means by steadfast yoga, steadfast efforts, systematic, methodic efforts. And then in topic 3, he tells us the magnitude of that supreme reality. Brahman is beyond the manifest and the unmanifest world. So, what we are experiencing is the world, the universe. Whatever you can imagine, all the planets and galaxies explode and not explode. It is manifest, but it's a passing phenomena. Even they have a shelf life. It may be millions of years, it could be billions of years, but they have a X amount of life. So, what supports this universe is supreme reality, which is unmanifest. But supreme reality is not restricted to this universe only, it is everywhere. Universe is nothing but a dot, a speck in the supreme reality. So we often give example of a mirage in a desert so that you can correlate. A traveler sees a mirage in a desert. There is only desert, but he sees a mirage. And then somebody who does not see the mirage or who knows what is the mirage all about, he is trying to explain to him that actually it is nothing but a desert. The mirage which you are experiencing is desert. So then his idea of mirage is what? The desert is what? Oh, this passing phenomena is desert. To which you tell him, no, mirage is going to go. But the piece of sand which supports that mirage is desert. So then his idea is what? Okay, now I understood what is desert. The piece of sand, a part of desert which supports mirage is desert. So you tell him, no, desert is everywhere. This mirage is nothing but a speck on that desert. So similarly, what is this supreme reality? In layman's language, what is God? Is staggering. So it is beyond manifest and it is beyond unmanifest. So we'll be covering all this. I'm just giving introduction so you know what we are studying. And then the fourth topic, which Sita read just now, paths of return and non-return. Now, all paths, meaning whatever activities you are engaged in life, they have a shelf life. That's what it means. It gives you a kick, a temporary happiness, and again you fall back into limitations. When you are a youth, you get that kick, from the age of whatever, 14, 15, till 25, 27, 28. You have that arrogance of youth. I can do anything. But how long the youth lasts? Before you know, you cross 30, you crossed 40. So again, it gives you that temporary kick. You earn money. Whatever goes up has to go down. You initially get that kick. You acquire, you enjoy. So everything has got a shelf life. It gives you that temporary happiness. And once you enjoy that desire, you again fall back into limitations. That incompleteness remains. Number one. Number two, you go through the cycle of birth, growth, decay, disease, death, life after life. And that itself is sorrow. See, we are discussing what is this path of return. Even in this lifetime, what are you going through? What is your life all about? Birth, growth, decay, disease, and death. It's nothing but sorrow. And again, you start with the same cycle in the next life. So that is path of return. But the state of self-realization is you do not fall back into limitations, meaning your happiness is infinite. You're not dependent on any object and being for your happiness. You are self-sufficient. World may throw best at you, world may throw worst at you. It does not make any difference because you're not dependent on the world for happiness. You are happy because you're happy. You have reached that supreme state of self-realization. And even after the death of physical body, it continues, meaning you don't regress. So therefore, it is said as path of no return or non-return. See, we don't explain the topic, I mean, once we read the topic, we start with the verse. But this chapter requires some extra information. Otherwise, you will find the going tough. Suddenly you'll be thrown into what is Brahman, what is Atman, what is Adi Deva. So I am slowly preparing you to understand the subtle message. So we'll start with verse number 1 and 2. They are chanted together.
अर्जुन उवाच किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मम् किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम् अधिदैवं किमुच्यते अधियज्ञः कथं गोत्र देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन प्रयाणकाले च कथं ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः अर्जुन उवाच किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मम् किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम् अधिदैवं किमुच्यते अधियज्ञः कथं गोत्र देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन प्रयाणकाले च कथं ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः
Translation: Arjuna Uvacha, meaning said, Arjuna is asking Krishna the question, what is that Brahman? What is Adhyatma? What is Karma, O Purushottama? What is called Adibhuta? And what is termed as Adideva? Who and how is Adi Yajna here in this body, O Madhusudana? And how are you to be known at the time of death by the self-control? Now, he is firing 7 questions at Krishna. Battery of questions. Now, where did he get these words from? So Krishna only mentioned them in the previous chapter, verse number 29 and 30. So there are 7 questions. Can you have the projection, Makran? Yeah, so you can see on the screen. So what is Brahman? Brahman meaning supreme reality. What is inner self? Atman. So the spark of Brahman, which is functioning in all beings, it is called as Atman. Supreme reality and Atman, they are one and the same. It's like total electricity and electricity which is functioning in a bulb. They are same. There is no difference. Total space versus living room space. That distinction is for our own convenience. There is no such thing called as living space or total space. Everything is space. So supreme reality, which is referred to as Brahman and Atman, they are one and the same. What is karma? What is action? What is above elements? What is above gods? What is above sacrifice? How supreme reality can be known when ego is eliminated? How do I know? Through spiritual practices, when I get there, how do I know I have reached that state? Oh, Purushottama, oh, Madhusudana. So he's referring to Krishna by 2 nouns. Now, it shows love and affection for each other. When you're fond of somebody, when there is feeling of oneness, automatically you use these nouns. When there is no identification, we say, she said that, he said that, you know. So it's interesting the psychology behind the whole thing. See, love and affection for each other towards everybody means spiritual growth. People talk about spiritual growth. What is spiritual growth? By going to a temple or a church or studying scriptures, you don't become spiritual. Of course, these are means to an end. It doesn't mean you don't do that. But how do you know that you have absorbed the knowledge of the scriptures, whichever way you are doing, whatever practices you are following, doesn't matter. So spiritual growth equals love and identification with all. Is the most powerful test of spirituality. In fact, this is the only test of spiritual evolution. You may give lectures on scriptures. You may go to a temple or a place of worship with tears in your eyes, and you may not be able to get along with your own spouse. I mean, what spirituality we are talking about? So spiritual, I repeat, spiritual growth or spiritual evolution equals what?
When we see oneness within with all beings.
That feeling of oneness, identification, correct, with all beings. So that's the psychology. Now, coming back to these questions, if you try to understand these terms on your own, I wish you all the best. However, you may rack your brains, you are not going to understand. I'm not scaring you. See, Bhagavad Gita was given 3,000 or 5,000 years back. So they use certain terms that time. But what we need to understand, the principle, the message is same. That does not change. But these words were contemporary, few thousand years back. Today, nobody knows these terms. It's like Shakespeare. To thine own self be true. Now, if a youngster who is born 15 years back, he asks mom and dad, what is this thine? I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but the principle is same. You must be truthful to your own conviction and conscience. That's the message. So forget about these words. what is telling us is composite human personality. Human being is a composite personality, and how that personality functions when it is enlivened by the God principle. Body, mind, intellect is nothing but matter. It has no life. But when it comes in contact with God principle, the pure consciousness, there is expression of life, which is my life, which is your life. But God principle is above body, mind, intellect. It just enlivens. That's what it means. But how that God principle functions through our personality, can we have that chart? Yeah, there you go. Without this chart, it is impossible to understand these questions. So I pulled out this chart from Swamiji's book, Vedanta Treatise, The Eternities. I think it's in the chapter 9, the human composition. Can you see, all of you, you can see the chart? So on top, you see Brahman. I repeat, Brahman means supreme reality, means Father in heaven, means Allah. They are synonyms. So supreme reality is all pervading, eternal. It existed in the past, it is existing now, it is going to exist in the future. And the spark of that supreme reality functions in you and me, in all the beings. So which is referred to as Atman or self. And when that supreme reality, that pure consciousness, enlivens body, mind, and intellect, there is expression of life. So, human being is a combination of spirit and matter. Spirit is Atman or Brahman. You can use any word. Spirit has no life in it. Matter has no life in it. But the combination of spirit and matter produces life. It is called as individual, it is called Jiva, which is nothing but you and me, all the beings. I repeat, human being is a combination of spirit and matter. Spirit has no life, matter has no life, but combination produces life. Just as electricity has no light, bulb has no light, but that combination produces light, isn't it? So below Atman, you see Vasana. Vasana is nothing but the seed of your personality, which is in unmanifest form. Your entire personality, when it is in Vasana state, it is in unmanifest form. It's like a seed. When you plant a seed in the ground, it's below the ground, you cannot see that. So it is in unmanifest state. So your personality, when it is in Vasana state, it is in unmanifest form. It is not manifest. But Vasanas gradually manifest as body, mind, and intellect. Just as a seed becomes a sapling, sapling becomes a plant, and a plant becomes a fully grown tree. Are you with me? See, when the child is born in the mother's womb, the whole thing is in unmanifest state. It's just a seed. Actually, it is happening. And slowly that seed starts manifesting inside mother's womb as body, mind, intellect. It's in a very embryo state. And then the baby comes out. So it's just a physical body which comes out from mother's womb. Mind and intellect is in a very, very basic state, almost unmanifest state. And then that baby becomes a toddler, toddler becomes a teenager becomes a youth, and then there are adults like you and me. So your vasanas gradually manifest as body, mind, and intellect, just as seed becomes a sapling, sapling becomes a plant, plant becomes a fully grown tree. And the characteristics of your body, mind, intellect are in line with your vasanas. Go back to the seed example. If you plant an almond tree, what will come out of that seed? A fully grown almond tree, isn't it?
Yes.
So the characteristics of almond tree, they come from where? From that tiny seed, which is unmanifest. So whatever you are at physical, emotional, intellectual level, that is a manifestation. It came from where? It came from your vasanas. If your vasanas are kind, your feelings are kind, your thoughts are kind. If your vasanas are unselfish, your feelings are unselfish, your thoughts are unselfish. So you are whatever you are due to your own vasanas. And these vasanas, they manifest or they grossify as body, mind, and intellect. And the entire personality, body, mind, intellect, vasana, they are enlivened by the God principle, by Atman. And body has organs of perception and organs of action. Everybody has these two organs, isn't it? What are the organs of perception? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. So with these organs of perception, you perceive the world. You go out for a walk, you see a flower, your eyes are seeing the flower. That's what it means by perception. Right now, you're hearing my words. That is called as perception. So what you perceive through organs of action is sense objects, corresponding sense objects. I repeat, organs of perception, what are they? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and
Touch.
skin. With
Skin.
them, you experience corresponding sense objects from the world. Eyes, they contact color and form. Nose contacts smell. Tongue contacts taste. Like that. That's what it means by perception. So through organs of perception, you contact sense objects. Also, body has got organs of action. So through organs of action, what do? You act in the world. Then there is mind. Mind is your feelings and emotions. So you experience various emotions, range of emotions, positive emotions, negative emotions, right? And beyond your mind is intellect, the capacity to think and reason. And intellect has two functions, gross and subtle. So you use your gross intellect when you contact the world. You think thoughts of the world. It could be very basic thinking, it could be a thinking which a scientist does, like a nuclear scientist. It's very fine thinking, but that thinking is confined to the world, to the terrestrial world. But the same intellect has got another function, this is called as subtle intellect. You can think about the supreme reality. What is my purpose in life? Is there anything beyond this terrestrial world? So we use the word contemplation for that. So when you're contemplating, you're using your intellect to think about the supreme reality. So at any time, you could be a perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, and contemplator. It's a hyphenated personality. And entire personality is enlivened by God principle. This is what you need to understand. And God principle is neutral. How you manage your body, mind, intellect, God principle has got absolutely nothing to do with it. You may use it positively, you may use it negatively. You are given that choice. God only enlivens your personality. I repeat, without God principle, body, mind, intellect cannot function. But how you manage your body, mind, intellect, that choice is given to you. Now you can use it positively or negatively. Even in the world, you can do something constructive, something which is beneficial to yourself and the society, or same body, mind, intellect you can use to indulge, get into the life of alcohol and doing drugs and all that. I'm not getting into details, or do something selfish and harm yourself and the society. But the God principle has got nothing to do with it. It is neutral. So your actions could be evolutionary or devolutionary. It is enlivened by the same God principle. This is what you need to understand. Does it make sense or is getting too technical? Step by step, I am trying to explain. Usually, we just say human being is a combination of spirit and matter. But what is it? What does that mean? That's what we are trying to understand. So, if you understand this chart, the basics, you don't have to worry about the terms which he is using. It means the same thing. On their own, you try to, what is Adi Deva, what is Adi, you will not understand anything. So the simple explanation is human being is a combination of spirit and matter. That's all you need to understand. Matter is your body, mind, intellect. Spirit is the God principle in you. And that spirit is neutral. That God principle is neutral. It just enlivens your personality. How you manage your personality, that choice is given to you. You can use your personality positively or negatively. You can entertain chaste emotions in worst of circumstances. You are given that choice. Somebody is nasty to you, somebody is plotting against you. You understand they are ignorant. You sympathize with them. Or you have a choice of entertaining negative emotion. How dare they do this to me? Or even in best of circumstances, people may entertain negative emotions. Somebody is trying to help you, somebody is your benefactor. You may entertain negative emotions. You may face challenges in life, but still you have that choice to remain cheerful. Nobody can take away that choice from you. That's what I mean. So you can use your personality positively or negatively. Don't blame anybody. It's very easy to blame others. Oh, because of my spouse, I'm like this. Because of my neighbor, I have become like this. Because of the society, you don't know where I'm born, I have become like that. Two individuals born in the same environment, one can become a saint, other person can become a terrorist. You have that choice. So don't blame circumstances, don't blame stars, don't blame parents, don't blame anybody, don't blame God. God has been very unkind to me. There is no such thing. God is neutral, is not biased. Every human being has got same and equal opportunity. Nobody is denied this beautiful opportunity to become a perfect human being. So once you understand that, you don't pay attention to, how does it matter where you are born, what circumstances you are born in? Yes, you understand them, but also you understand that I have this capacity to overcome these negative influences in my life. So it all depends on at what level of your personality you are operating. Perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, contemplator. Most people, they are at the level of perceiver, actor, feeler. Almost like an animal's life. Only when you are using your intellect, you are thinking. You're a rational person. And that too, you are using your intellect for what? So your spiritual personality is when you are using intellect to contemplate. That is where your spiritual journey starts. If you go back to the chart, you find out where you belong. Most people, can we have it again, Magaran? Most people, they are at the level of perception, action, and feelings, period. Just contacting the senses, acquiring, enjoying, and entertaining emotions for a very small circle. The identification doesn't go beyond themselves or their family. Rare is a person who uses intellect in day-to-day life. And still rare is a person who uses his subtle intellect. So that is where your spiritual life is. So try to note down this chart, it will become easy. And then coming back to the verse translation, verse number 2, the final question. And how are you to be known at the time of death? By the self-control. See, self or God principle is beyond body, mind, and intellect. Arjuna, he is asking that question, how will I know that God? How will I know supreme reality? So supreme reality is beyond body, mind, and intellect. Meaning you cannot experience it by perceptions, feelings, and thoughts. You can't see, you can't smell, you can't touch, you can't feel divinity. Intellectually, you cannot comprehend. Now I understood. It is beyond the perceptions, feelings, and thoughts of the body. But when you transcend body, mind, intellect, you experience that supreme reality. How you transcend body, mind, intellect? By three spiritual practices. So I've been saying it time and again, through action, devotion, and knowledge. And once you reach that state, you know you have reached it. This is what Arjuna is confused about. How will I know that I know supreme reality? It's like dreamer asking, how will I know I have become a waker? Because dreamer cannot experience waking state by his dream body, mind, intellect, isn't it? He cannot perceive the waking state. He cannot feel the waking state. Intellectually, he cannot understand the waking state. Then how will a dreamer know that he has become a waker? When he becomes a waker. So you don't need any external agency to tell you that you are a waker. So the waker knows himself by himself. A person who is drunk and his friends, they are telling him, be sober, what kind of a life, you are living. So he doesn't understand what is being sober. And he says, okay, I know you're my friend, best friend. But how will I know that I'm sober? A drunk man is asking, how will I know that when I become sober, how will I know I become sober? What is the answer?
When he experiences sobriety.
When you become a sober person, then you don't need your friends to tell you, hey, you're sober. You say, what nonsense. I was always sober. You will not accept you were drunk last night. So similarly, when you reach the state of supreme reality, you don't need any external agency to tell you that you have reached that state. You know it because you know it. You have become that state. So how are you to be known? By spiritual practices. You reach a state of self-realization by spiritual practices. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, action, devotion, and knowledge. So through these three spiritual practices, gradually you eliminate your desires. And as you start eliminating your desires, you develop a sense of detachment in your life. You remain very much in the world. In fact, you become more dynamic, more productive. But you are disconnected from what is happening internally, not physically. It's called a sense of renunciation. Renunciation in action, not of action. So that gives you that mental peace, satisfaction, contentment, happiness to deal with any situation in life. And when mind is calm, your intellect becomes available to think about what's your purpose in life. That is contemplation, which culminates in meditation, which culminates in state of self-realization. So that's the hierarchy. So that is Arjuna's question. Self-control means by spiritual practices. I mean, I know it is a little bit heavy, but my obligation is to explain whatever is there. Even if I don't want to explain verse number 1 and 2, personally, I would like to skip these 3, 4 verses. Okay, let's move on to. But it's not difficult. So go home, study that chart, and like step by step, at least 10, 12 points we discussed today. So when you're fresh, look at those points. It's quite simple. But without that chart, you cannot understand. And I'm repeating, if somebody tries to, okay, I will study what is Adi Deva, Adi Bhuta, what is Adi Yajna, you will come out as a confused person. So that's what happens to people. I mean, they try to think too much about these terms without knowing the basics. Actually, they are very simple terms. If you understand the chart, forget about these terms. The chart explains everything. So have I confused you too much today?
Unmute. Amaji, can you define renunciation a little bit more? What do you mean by renunciation?
Renunciation is that attitude of detachment in day-to-day life. See, right now the stock market is going up and down. One day it is, I don't know, you lose $1 trillion, second day you earn $1 trillion. So you're not affected by it. Yeah, you may invest in it, but you're not affected by it. So while you are in action, you maintain that sense of detachment in day-to-day life. That is renunciation. So renunciation in action, not of action. Objectivity is another word for renunciation, easy word to understand. So you are facing challenges of life, but your objective. Does it help?
So you have to give up likes and dislikes maybe in life, and that will be
No.
renunciation.
That's what I said. Renunciation in action. How many times I repeated? Not renunciation of anything in life. You are totally detached from the toy world, isn't it? All of us are detached from the toy world. And you may play with children. I mean, you're detached. But right now you're attached to name, fame, family, everything. So detachment is when you take higher values of life, you understand the futility of what the world has to offer. That is all. You remain same. Internally, you are a different person. You are in a profession. You do your obligatory duties in that profession. There is no doubt about that. But you don't care for promotion and perks and all. It is incidental. So that is sense of detachment. In a family, as a family, you do your duty towards your children, but you do your duties in a sense of detachment. You guide your children, you provide them shelter or whatever you have to do as a parent, and get out, understanding that you have no control over any human being's life. How they conduct themselves, their character, what they want to do in life, they come with their own vasanas. That is sense of renunciation. Opposite of renunciation is attachment. You become possessive. My child, my child, my child, my profession, my business. Renunciation is you do your obligatory duties in life and get out. That is renunciation. Are you okay?
Thank you. Yes.
Amitji, does that mean a renunciation? Um, that emotionally you are not you are renouncing or practicing renunciation emotionally. When somebody says something to you, it doesn't affect you. And does that apply in that sense, or?
See, renunciation means growth. Another word for renunciation is growth. Now, a child, 4-year-old child, insults you very badly, calls you all sorts of names, maybe your own grandson, granddaughter, 3, 4, he doesn't understand what is happening. Will you be affected? How dare that 3-year-old tiny tot? You know what he called me? You know what did he say? Sleepless nights you are having. You're grown. So you have no value for that. But another 3, 4-year-old child in same age group, they will fight with each other. Parents, they will have to separate them. So renunciation is growth. I'm going with your example. So when you are grown, you understand the futility of what the world has to offer. That doesn't mean you don't contact the world. What will you do? You remain in the world. In fact, you become more dynamic, more productive. But internally, you are withdrawn. World may throw best at you, world may throw worst at you. It does not make any difference to you. You understand it's a passing phenomenon. Even this shall pass away. You have best of health. So why not? You may lose your health. Everything has to pass. You may be the most successful person in the world. Why not? But even this shall pass away. You may have all the money in the world. You understand money is not permanent, ups and downs. So that stance which you take in life while you are dynamically functioning in the world is renunciation. It's not giving up anything. Nobody can give up anything, first of all. It is misunderstood. Renunciation equals growth, equals maturity, equals getting established in the higher values of life. That is renunciation.
Neha Mittal. Yes, you can ask.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I am new to the class today.
Yeah.
So how can I get the current recording and the past recordings?
See, when you registered, you must have received by default pay, what do you call that? YouTube link to chapter 7, right?
I just got the Zoom link to attend today's class.
And under the Zoom link, there is a playlist link to the
Okay.
YouTube for 6 and 7 chapters.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Thank you.
But Neha, I mean, though it has been provided to you, if I were you, I would just focus on this chapter. 3-4 months are enough. 6 months are enough. You will understand everything. But if you feel you have time, there is no harm in watching the recordings. But it's not actually it's not required. We have to give because I mean there is no way I can convince people that if you miss something, don't worry.
Okay.
There's no way I can convince this to you. So
Okay.
therefore, we are giving it to you, but actually it is not required.
Okay. Okay.
But if you believe in me, you decide what you want to do. Any other question? Are we okay? All right, great. So I'll see you on next Saturday. So we'll continue with verse number 3.
Thank you. Oh, there is a question.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, what is the question? Who has a question?
Aaron, you
Yeah,
unmute
please go
yourself.
ahead. Please go ahead.
I don't. I was just waving goodbye.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I'm so sorry.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, Amit ji.
Thank you,
Okay.
Amit ji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.